you're going eastbound on Belmont, as I stated earlier, it's a one-way street going north and a one-way street going south, which is kind of confusing to people that don't live in the neighborhood over here. Alright, we're at the 3200 block of Octavia. Now, this street is wide enough for it being a two-way street here. There's speed humps here. I see that this block has been neglected. You got the buffalo boxes sticking out of the ground on a couple of houses here. You notice a couple of branches are hanging down over the lights. They should be trimming this. And then you got building on the parkway. Building on a parkway is illegal. I don't know how some of these residents or citizens got away with it, but anytime you build on the parkway, you risk getting a $500 fine, and that's a first offense fine. As we're crossing over into schools from Octavia, we're going northbound on Octavia at the 3300 block. Notice a lot of houses are for sale. There's a huge pothole right over here, a big sinkhole. I don't even think the city has been notified of this huge sinkhole right next to this property over here. Let me see if I get an address. I can't see an address because of the overhanging trees. It's 3320 North Octavia. I'm going to back up a little bit here so we can get a better picture of this. Now imagine a cone. I'm talking about the cones like the people's gas cones. You know how tall they are. They're probably at least 3 feet tall. Here's a cone right in this cave-in here. And this cave-in goes down two and a half feet because all you see is the top of the cone. This thing is huge. It's probably like 2.5 feet, 3 feet deep, and probably about 3 feet wide. Somebody put a cone on there, and imagine you coming home from a party, you're not paying attention. If your tire hits that hole, you're going to ruin your tire, your rim, and also have some front end damage. Now what you should do is if you happen to hit that hole, first thing what you do is you call the police, make a police report, come out here, take pictures, you get a claim form from the city, you fill it out, you send it in. The city is responsible for this. Again, the city is responsible for maintaining the street. If they've been notified and they still do not do nothing, they are liable. So anytime you see a pothole on the street, pick up the phone, call 911. You get a confirmation number. That number is very, very important later on. 311 operators will not offer you that number, which is wrong. They should be trained to issue that number to you. So anytime you call, get a number. May not seem nothing right now, but later on you'll need that number because then you can call back and see the status of that report. And if you got that number, they know that you're keeping track of that number. Alright, as we're going north in Octavia over here at the 3400 speed hump, the 3400 block of Octavia. This is a pretty well lit street here. There's no trees. If there were any trees, they got cut down because back in the day they loved planting trees when they fixed the streets. And here I notice a lot of work going on. A little building permit over here at 3446 Octavia. They're also doing the parkway. Now I hope that they got a permit for digging on the parkway for the new driveway going out. If not, we're going to be making a call and finding out if he's got a permit for that or not. Alright, as we're crossing over Cornelia from Octavia, I notice a lot of trees in front of me here. An old dark maple tree. I love those old dark maple trees. They give the neighborhood some enthusiasm in the block here. As I'm going down, I see the wires hanging on from the lights. And I see they wrapped it around the tree, which is a no-no. When that tree gets taller, it's going to yank these wires that are going from one pole to the next. I don't know what the electrical department was thinking of when they decided to wrap it around the tree. That is wrong. They should have never done that. Alright, as we're crossing the Addison Street here, seems like traffic right now, but I know during the rush hour of the street there's a lot of traffic on this street here. I'm going north on Octavia here, 3600 block. There's a lot of trees. I mean, a lot. And even the signs are covered up for children playing on the street here. There's a sign in front of 3624 Octavia. I see a lot of homes for sale here. Got a huge branch right over the street. Looks like forestry cut this tree down at one time. I mean, it's rotten from inside and out. I mean, this tree should be gone. I mean, I'm looking at the tree right now. I can see inside of the tree, and it's all hollowed out. And you got a good branch hanging over the street. When that branch falls, it's going to crash. The address over here is 3639 North Octavia. We're going to make a call and see if we can get that tree cut down. Alright, as we're crossing over to Wayland, they got this big center pier here. It's not as huge as the other ones I've seen, but it's in the way. As we're going down Octavia at the 3700 block, some of these trees need to be trimmed. I see people sitting out here in the neighborhood, which is good. They feel kind of safe here, but with the crime on the rise, I'd be kind of worried about sitting out here. That's one thing in my peeves over here is if you're elderly or senior, they should not be sitting in front of their porch. Because if you got some potential criminals driving down the street and they see seniors just sitting on the porch, that's two things that happen. That nobody's there taking care of them, or they just are a target, and they shouldn't be doing that. Alright, as we're coming up to Grace, I'll see you on the next